When the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic swept across the globe at the beginning of 2020, it brought about many changes in the way in which we as South Africans work and live. It also highlighted the plight of many of the more vulnerable communities, especially those situated in the rural areas of our country. It is in these rural areas where Sappi Southern Africa's mills and forestry plantations are situated, and where many of the company's employees and contractors live. This is just one reason why the company has donated scarce and essential items to assist and provide some relief to these neighboring communities in these extraordinary and difficult times. With the sudden increase in demand, the country experienced a national shortage in the supply of hand sanitizer, masks and soap. Sappi decided to donate these scarce items to organizations that were in dire need of them. Thousands of liters of sanitizer were procured and distributed to more than 80 community clinics and healthcare centers in the rural and peri-urban areas of KwaZulu-Natal and Mpumalanga.
Ngabonga kakhulu nje kakhulukazi oqala kwabaSappi COVID inkampani ekhona la eduzane nje nathi. Ngumsebenzi basenzela ukuthi bengaqali ke. Kuningi nje abasebenzele khona nangu April bakhe bafethe ama-food parcel umphakathi. Abantu bathokoza kakhulu.
Since the wearing of masks has become compulsory, and because there is a shortage of available PPE, Sappi activated a program at its skills center, Sappi Mill, in Umkomaas, to produce cloth masks. This program started out using Sappi apprentices who quickly learned how to make these cloth masks using machines that were leased from a local business during the lockdown. The apprentices were soon churning out the masks at an impressive rate. Since the beginning of the pandemic, the center has produced in excess of 55,000 masks. These were initially made for the distribution to Sappi's own and contractor employees. Since then, the program has been opened up to community members, and 12 community members have begun their basic handyman sewing training at the center. They have now taken over the task of producing the cloth masks, and a further batch of 10,000 masks has been made and distributed to local schools surrounding Sappi's operations, where shortages of masks had been identified. Sappi was also able to procure the required PPE for health practitioners in the country when it was most needed, and initially distributed 15,000 surgical masks to community clinics and healthcare centers. A follow-up donation of a further 10,000 masks was done, continuing to enable the community health practitioners to perform their duties safely as the pandemic continues to target vulnerable communities.
We went to collect the sanitizers and the mask because we have requested them because we're short of the sanitizers especially. Last time they just voluntarily came and they provided us with the 50 liters of sanitizers and the mask 200. So today again they did the same thing. They provided us with 50 liters of sanitizer and the 200 mask. Sappi COVID is the company that is very supportive. Besides COVID-19, they've been supportive in the events that we provide here in the facility, community events especially.
So today we are donating 50 liters of sanitizers to each of the 10 local clinics, and we're also donating about 200 masks, surgical masks, to each of the 10 clinics as well. This is part of our outreach program as part of the COVID-19 intervention, but also in celebration of International Nelson Mandela Day.
Understanding that the pandemic is placing great strain on the livelihoods of communities that are already severely pressured, Sappi earlier this year entered into a partnership with the Southern Lodestar Foundation and the SPAR Group when it used its knowledge and access to rural community networks to distribute 60,000 kilograms of A+ instant porridge to vulnerable communities in KwaZulu-Natal and Mpumalanga. A 1 kilogram pack of highly nutritional porridge can feed 5 adults a 200 gram serving per day, or can provide a 50 gram serving to 20 children. This initiative continues, and the distribution of a further 70,000 kilograms of the nutritional porridge is now underway. Because Sappi realized that the pandemic would have lingering effects on the resources of many institutions and organizations, the company pledged a donation of Typec office paper to the value of 1 million rand. Now that schools are back after the extended lockdown, Sappi is making good on that promise. The handover of the paper started with the 23 schools closest to the Sappi Cycle Mill and will extend to the other recipient schools adjacent to its other mills and plantations in KZN and in Mpumalanga.
It is a real privilege to be invited by Sappi Cycle to be part of their outreach program where they assist our schools, and they have made a practice so far of assisting the local schools in order to enhance their education by providing very important resources such as paper.
Annually, Sappi also encourages its employees to give of their time and skills as they volunteer and participate in Mandela Day activities in surrounding communities. This year, due to the need for social distancing and realizing the need that exists in vulnerable communities, Sappi has made donations of about 400 substantial food parcels to organizations like children's homes, drop-in centers and community centers in Stanger, Mandini, Umkomaas and Mjindini near Barberton in Mpumalanga.
I think we were really pleasantly surprised to receive the phone call to say that Sappi is going to donate groceries to us. But when I got to Macro and saw how much of stuff, I was really overwhelmed, because it's been a tough time since the outbreak of COVID-19. The normal donors that do come through have been few and far between, because people themselves are going through tough times. So when Sappi, basically a corporate in our area, has come to our aid, we've really been overwhelmed to receive so much of groceries. It's going to carry us through quite some time.
Part of our program to support local schools and clinics, we'll be visiting Nkodi Creche and Sky Primary School and also Jolivet Clinic. We'll be presenting these organizations with sanitizers and masks as part of our program to support them during this difficult time of COVID-19.
There is no doubt that the COVID-19 crisis has had an adverse impact on Sappi's business and profitability. But on the upside, product demand in certain sectors like packaging is already showing improvement and has also led to product innovation in other areas. Sappi remains confident that its focus on innovation and the strength of its research and development departments will carry it through into the post-COVID era, as has already been witnessed by some of the innovations that have emerged during this extraordinary time in the company's existence.